Maggie, let's talk about this crazy world of ours. Sometimes very difficult to understand what's going on in this world today. You know what I mean? These days, it seems like events, the public discourse, politics, and people in general have become unhinged. In this post, I'm going to discuss the forces that seem to be pulling us apart and some solutions, including some that are spiritual in nature, that we might employ to change things. This morning, Lynn and I had a wide-ranging discussion about personal issues and then move on to societal issues. A flash of insight came. The insight was that it seemed that there are two countervailing forces in operation among humans. One in which a certain portion of the population seems to be waking up, becoming more aware and more loving and more compassionate, as well as more concerned about the future of the planet. It seems that there is a distinct leap forward in human consciousness underway as we become united around issues like climate change, for example. We're all beginning to see that we're more alike, one, as a species, more than we are different, that we are growing and evolving in important ways. On the other hand, there seems to be a large segment of the population that seems to be descending into darkness of racism, sexism, misogyny, homophobia. Religions are struggling with each other. Political parties are feuding with each other. National political ideologies are at war, psychically and physically, with each other, and more, accompanied by a clear movement toward despotic governmental rule and away from democratic norms. This darkness is one of fear, distrust, tribalism, and willingness to commit violence on others in our community and in our world. An emphasis on us versus them. An insistence of the assertion of my rights while disregarding the rights of others. A devolution in the species, if you will. I'm concerned about those who seem to be devolving, who seem to be unwilling or unable to stay in tune with the ascent of men, who seem stuck in the past when things for them were better than they are now, who seem to be scared of the rapidity of change that is occurring, which, to some degree, is flummoxing us all. Some of these folks are family members, neighbors, friends, national leaders, and international political allies. Some have become dangerous to themselves and us. I hate to see them suffer so and have a hard time understanding the mindset that insists we return to the 1950s, to the 1850s, or even to the 1450s, the time of the Inquisition. I have several ideas that I'd like to offer as ways to reverse course. First, let's get comfortable with change. Perhaps we need a Department of Change in the U.S. or at the United Nations. Certainly we need change management education and critical thinking skills in our schools and in our businesses. We must welcome the change that is occurring in our rapidly evolving world as it unfolds moment by moment. Let's accept that such change can be trusted and that we can be trusted to handle the change appropriately and skillfully. Next, let's recognize the dynamic of what's going on. When it becomes clear that the problem is evolution and growth and the resistance to evolution and growth, we can begin to address the problem from a more compassionate perspective. Let's ramp up our mental and emotional health systems. The source of extremism is often a sense of loneliness, loss of control, and a willingness to give our loyalty to others who claim to have all the answers, but who are just using us for their own selfish purposes. And lastly, let's learn to address our challenges and fears with clear-eyed pragmatism and collective creative problem solving, which humans are known for, rather than putting our heads in the sand, or worse, lashing out at others who are not the source of our problems. Let me offer some additional solutions with a spiritual twist. First, we must begin by working on ourselves. Most importantly, it is crucial that we look within and find a place of peace and abide there. In my experience, I can have the greatest impact on others by becoming more aware and awake myself. I can be of service to my fellow humans by becoming an interested, non-judgmental witness to the goings-on around me, in my neighborhood, and in my world. Meditation, in my opinion, is the best way to develop our ability to be silent and bless the appearances of good as well as darkness as it appears before our very eyes. Meditation quietens the mind that tends to judge and condemn the behavior of others we don't like, even when it's despicable behavior. My meditation process, higher consciousness meditation, is one of the best ways to develop this skill. It bypasses the mind and training the mind and goes straight to peaceful awareness. A good way to pray for our enemies. Another way to pray for our enemies is to cultivate the ability to observe others and see past their humanness to their divine essence. I call this sacred seeing in my best-selling work, The Meditation Book. Practice this when you go to the grocery store, for example. Shift your focus by squinting your eyes a little bit and opening yourself to seeing the essence, the souls of your fellow shoppers. It's a bit startling at first, but quickly becomes a satisfying experience. It lifts them up and lifts you up too. Additionally, encourage those who seem to be surrounded by darkness or behaving badly to put aside their fears and their desire to inflict harm on others. This can be difficult to do because you might justifiably be concerned that they might turn on you. If you can't do this verbally, do it mentally. And again, shift your focus to see them as eternal beings that they truly are, rather than the rageful human beings they may have become. Also, encourage all leaders with whom you are acquainted to begin to accept the notion that what is best for each of us is what's best for all of us, and to work toward lifting up those who seem to be struggling as a benefit to the whole. Emphasize our oneness, not our divisions, and vote for office seekers who seem more enlightened, no matter what the party. Next, reflect on what's really going on in the world, that we are on this planet and we're going through a transition from a lower octave to a higher octave. We are making a transition from three-dimensional Homo sapiens to five-dimensional Homo spiritus beings. Our eternal innate beingness is being summoned by the natural unfolding of the universe as it goes through its ongoing arc toward growth and evolution. Let's grow up and not resist the transition that's inevitable. If this sounds good to you, let me suggest a few things that you can do as next steps. First, learn to meditate. Second, learn to meditate. Third, try one of my books at Amazon Books. And last, let me offer you a free gift of a chakra meditation bracelet. Click on the link below and I'll send you one. I'm Blair Abee, author, poet, and ordinary mystic. I've written 5 best-selling books on meditation, manifestation, and related topics, available at Amazon Books. Let me conclude by offering you a namaste. The higher consciousness in me salutes the higher consciousness in you. Namaste.